This documentary tells the story of the vision and legacy of Shamjibai Bogabhai Sanghani, the history of Gigasan Primary School, and the extraordinary journey from a single classroom in 1923 to a modern educational campus in 2026. Nestled on the edge of Gujarat's Gir Conservation Park, Gigasan is a farming and dairy village where life has long existed alongside nature, and where Asiatic lions can still occasionally be seen wandering near the village. In the early years of the 20th century, opportunities in rural India were limited. Like many families of the time, Boghabhai Vishrambai Sanghani sought a better future for his children. In 1908, his eldest son, Shamjibai, then aged just 14, left Gigasan and embarked on a remarkable journey to East Africa to work on the British railway network. It was a courageous step that would not only change his own life, but would ultimately influence the future of generations of children in Gigasan. Arriving in Mombasa, Shamjibai began his working life performing manual labour on the East African railways. He soon realized that those with an education were given greater opportunities and better paid positions. Determined to build a better future, he worked tirelessly, saved what he could, and within a few years established his own cloth trading business in Mombasa. The lessons learned in East Africa were never forgotten. Returning home, Shamjibai and his family recognized that education had the power to transform lives. Inspired by this belief, Boghabhai Vishrambai Sanghani resolved to create educational opportunities for the children of Gigasan. In 1923, Boghabhai Vishram Sanghani transformed that vision into reality by establishing a one-room school at the bus stop for the children of Gigasan. The vision that began with a single classroom in 1923 continued to grow. As the population of Gigasan increased and more children sought an education, additional space became necessary. In 1957, Shamjibai Boghabhai Sanghani returned to Gigasan and funded the construction of 3 new classrooms, enabling the school to serve a growing number of students. The dream of providing education for every child in the village was becoming a reality. 3 decades later, 8th generation continued the family's commitment to education. In 1987, Jitendra Sanghani funded the construction of 4 additional classrooms to meet the ever-growing educational needs of Gigasan village. In February 2024, Jitendra Sanghani returned to Gigasan Primary School more than 100 years after its original foundation. Although the school continued to educate approximately 185 students, the buildings had deteriorated significantly and were no longer suitable for the educational needs of future generations. Following discussions with teachers, village elders and community leaders, a decision was made. Rather than renovate aging structures, a completely new state-of-the-art primary school would be built on the same historic site where the original school had stood since 1923. The concept design for the new school was developed in Gibraltar before being transferred to architects and structural engineers in Amreli for local development and implementation. The vision was clear: to create a modern educational campus capable of serving up to 300 students while preserving the legacy established more than a century earlier. On the 31st of December 2024, village elders, trustees, engineers, contractors, teachers and members of the community gathered on the school grounds for a traditional groundbreaking ceremony. More than 100 years after Boghabhai Vishrambai Sanghani established the original one-room school, work was about to begin on a completely new educational campus for the children of Gigasan. With prayers, blessings and the support of the community, construction officially commenced on January 1st, 2025. The school completion is projected to be end of July 2026, 19 months construction period. What began as a single classroom in 1923 has grown into a modern educational campus for the children of Gigasan. For more than a century, generations of families, teachers, trustees, and community members have shared a common belief that education has the power to transform lives. On 29 May 2026, the government of Gujarat approved the establishment of a secondary school for Gigasan, creating new opportunities for future generations of students. As one chapter closes and another begins, we look forward to supporting the development of a new secondary school for Gigasan village. The vision continues. The journey continues.